Hello, everyone, and welcome to your next session of the day. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Vivek Thakral, and he is the head of AI and automation at HARMAN International. And today his talk is titled, Business Transformation Fueled by Artificial Intelligence. So please welcome to our virtual stage, Vivek. You can come on out and join us with your camera.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi, okay, great. So I'm just going to turn my camera off and you can share your slides and take it away.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Vivek, and I really thank all of you to join this virtual session today. It's my pleasure to walk you through some of my lessons learned and some best practices to drive business transformation via AI. I've been practicing in the industry about more than 18 years now. Lived in 13 cities across 3 continents, worked with people from different backgrounds, culture. I worked in every possible business function other than aviation industry. Today, I'd like to share some of the knowledge with you all. The way I look at artificial intelligence driving productivity in the business is all about looking at the larger goals and objectives of where your company want to be. What are you trying to drive as productivity? Is it better manufacturing processes, or is it optimizing your inventory, or it's looking at better cash management and maintaining the customer relationships? It all starts with the business in mind, and how do we align ourselves to drive productivity through technology? And technology has definitely made many advancements in recent history. Artificial intelligence is definitely adding a lot of value in supply chain and manufacturing companies like HARMAN. We are an automotive and lifestyle audio business, and I'll share some examples how do we do that. And finally, I'll wrap up the session by giving some food for thought about how our enterprise jobs and job description would start changing with the help of AI. Give you a background about how we operate as a company. We are a global company across 30 countries with more than 33,000 employees. However, we all are very well integrated and collaborated through business applications that run the operations like order management, customer collaboration, supplier collaboration, manufacturing processes, financial processes, even look at human resource planning and services. So we run our operation from critical systems across the globe with very tightly integrated data around it. 50% of our organization employees are engineers. These guys are very close to technology, manufacturing, and quality. And we operate very closely in different regions. We have presence in Asia, Europe, Latin America, North America, and all these engineers and supply chain employees, they interact with each other, sharing best practices and standard across the globe. As a company, the heritage is we are front runners in the connected car technology. We have many patents and awards in our lifestyle audio business, and that's where our strength lies. Keep innovating, keep inventing, and keep improving the customer experience by delivering best products. These are the 4 verticals we operate in. Connected car is one of the largest business that we are in. We are improving experience per mile of the driver. Think about when you're driving your car, you are able to interact with your car without pressing a single button. You're able to purchase a coffee on the way to work or home by just giving some voice commands. So it's commerce in the car. From the lifestyle standpoint, we are continuously enhancing the experience of music in your headphones, in your home theater, in your personal audio, in your phones. It's how you redefine music and how you hear that. From a professional solution standpoint, we enable the music industry during stadium games or music concerts or even events, large-scale events, government events or open-air events. So we improve the professional experience through that. And finally, all these businesses have to be connected by measuring the key performance indicators and customer experience. So we have technologies which collect all the big data and analyze and continuously improve the products and the experience. This is just a visual representation how this company operates in different sectors, from personal audio to professional to your home to car, and how everything is connected to each other. And to make all this happen, to make sure the company is able to deliver good quality products and drive better experience of the customer, this is the lifeline of an organization, AI-enabled enterprise. Again, give you some flavor, external perspective, how different companies and industries are investing into automations. In the next couple of years, we would see about $8 billion of investment across banking, insurance, automotive, telecom, manufacturing companies. And the ROI for this investment typically comes in less than 12 months. And ROI is also recognized at least 2x of the investment. So automation definitely helps you get your money back in less than 6 months. If you invest 8 billion, you get your 8 billion in less than 6 months. And in terms of the comparative analysis, there are certain manufacturing companies like GE, Boeing, GM, Ford. I would say they are the champion of the front runners in adopting to automations. However, smaller organizations, they are still picking up pace. The functions highlighted in the green boxes are where we see a lot of adoption of AI and automation, which can give you faster productivity with less amount of effort, less complexity and more benefits. From FP&A standpoint, source to pay, invoice to cash, order to management, these are some of the key areas where we see highest productivity by standardizing the process, automating it, and retraining or rebadging our existing employees in the company. And I am engaged in all these areas in my current role. And we have deployed more than 30,000 of man hours productivity and more than $3 million of savings in about 8 months of time frame. Now, going deeper into an internal enterprise space, every standard organization which does manufacturing or supply chain, they have a standard architecture. On the left side, you see the system of records is typically your ERPs. System of differentiation is where you do your analytics, advanced analytics, real-time data. And from the innovation standpoint, you do customer collaboration, supplier collaboration. That's a very standard architecture of any organization. What we are doing is we are putting together a parallel architecture for AI, which means the arms and legs where we do repetitive tasks is where the system of records are. That's where we are deploying process mining and RPA techniques to take away some manual repetitive tasks away from our employees. From an innovation standpoint, we are leveraging machine learning techniques to have analysis on the historic trends of the customer orders and customer behaviors to make payments and predicting how we'll do better cash management, how we can better utilize our inventory. So those are machine learning techniques that we are deploying at different layers. Going deeper into that space, this is an ecosystem on how the business enterprise data will flow between different systems. The heart is typically your ERP ecosystem, ERP connected with PLMs, ERP connected with supply chain management or finance systems, or even our customer collaboration. So ERP is where the majority of the business operations occur, but it has to integrate with many other downstream and upstream systems. So what we are doing in our organization is we are standardizing our enterprise application on the top layer. We are stabilizing our ERPs by going to one single instance, and we are structuring or binding our data into data as commodities. We call it data vaults. All of these formulate the AI-enabled architecture, because then once you have these in place, you can have real-time insights to your business decision-making dashboards, automations, alerts, customer notification, supplier payments. All of these are easily available to deploy if our enterprise ecosystem is standardized. Now that's the technology piece, but we have to shift our focus a little bit toward who are the consumers of the data. We always have to design our enterprise solution or AI solution based on the personas. We must identify who are the key stakeholders in our organization, from sales and marketing to supply chain to manufacturing to finance to human resource. Once we identify these personas and what information or data is relevant to them, that's how we have to start defining the application, which is a light blue layer. Do we need to standardize a CRM platform, PLM platform, ERPs, and then look at what is the infrastructure needed to deploy these applications? Do we need to be an on-prem or cloud? Do we need to do a SaaS solution versus an iPaaS solution? That's why you need to design your architecture. End of the day, what we are doing, we are enabling the business operations to do their jobs more efficiently. For example, inquiry to order, invoice to cash, working capital management, taxation. All of these are ultimately the lifeline of any business. And that's what we enable through the personas and the enterprise architecture around it. This is going further deeper. This is like double click on how do you automate. I'm taking an example of order to cash, which is most common across manufacturing and supply chain organization. Think about, we have large teams and organizations in different functions, which talk to each other to run the business process. For example, on the extreme left, we'll have commercial operations organization, which interacts with the customer, would receive a purchase order in an email or a fax or a post or however they receive. That's how they get triggered, who would then feed into the sales team and the plan, logistics, and so on. What we are doing currently is we are automating every sub-process within O2C by using AI technologies like RPA, OCR, chatbots, machine learning, process mining. We are using all these techniques to automate every process step and connecting each other. So outcome of one automation will be the input for another. For example, the digitized purchase order, once it's done, it will trigger the sales creation automation to do the job, and so on. This is the kind of army of automation or bots that we're building in our company. This is how we are envisioning our organization. Once we identify the different processes to automate at the bottom by process mining techniques, we know what we need to automate. We'll end up deploying various bots or automation technologies, which would be in collections, disputes, sales order creations, customer management, invoice creations. Once we have an army of automations deployed, all their activities and transactions would be monitored, controlled, and supervised by a machine learning automation called the supervisor bot. How many invoices were created, what was the dollar amount on those invoices, which customers will be sent the invoice to, what are the payment terms and conditions, when we should receive the payments. All those information are tracked by the supervisor bot, which is then consolidated under a dashboard or a decision-making platform accessed by real human beings for them to take decisions and reallocate their teams, their priorities, and the goals of the company. So that's how I'll re-envision the organization, and we are marching fast towards this vision in our company. With that, I like to switch gears and food for thought, how automation getting embedded into our organization will redefine how we hire our employees, how we retrain our employees, and how the future of work would look like. There are a lot of definitions of AI floating around all over the place, but we have to choose or select which makes most sense for our enterprise. The way I look at this one is, I look at this as a missing middle. What that means is AI is a combination of human beings and machines. Without human or machine, AI is not possible. You need human beings because they have cognitive skill sets, they can make judgments, they have empathy, and they can lead. So you need human beings for key decision-making roles, whereas machine can come and take over some of the repetitive tasks, which could be built based on business logics. You need machines to transact, to predict, and then to adapt to business scenarios. But the beauty lies between the convergence of the two, how we can complement human beings to change their jobs to become trainers. If you're a subject matter expert, you could train a machine or a bot to behave the way you want it to behave, like if then else logics. Then these human beings will also start observing through dashboard how these automations are working, and then they will scale these solutions across the organization. So human being jobs will change based on their business knowledge, and machines will only accelerate the transaction. It will only amplify how we proceed faster with zero or less manual errors in the company. That's where I define AI and how do we adopt to this in an organization. Finally, based on the adoption, we definitely would see maturity of any company to adapt to AI. In my mind, it goes through 4 phases. Typically, you want to start with phase 1, where you don't want to automate the process. You want to only automate specific tasks within the process. Tasks, for example, create sales order, create purchase acquisition, create invoice, make a payment, receive a payment. Those are tasks that you want to automate. So you want to start there to see if automation even makes sense for your company. Then phase 2 would involve more cognitive skill set, where you can give commands in real time to your automation, like through a chatbot, right, to a trigger, or to a messaging techniques. So you do more cognitive skill sets into an automation. They can understand what a human being is trying to convey. The third phase is where you start retraining, rebadging, and upskilling your current employee workforce so that they spend more time in decision making, and robots are used for repetitive tasks. Finally, now the organization, how it would look like in future would be, you'll have employees to make decisions, you'll have contractors to do specific fixed tasks or projects, you'll have bots, and you have AI enabling the growth of the company. Based on the speed of execution and the maturity, I would say we'll all have to assess where we lie and where we're going. I can safely say at Harman, we are somewhere in the middle of phase 2 and 3 right now. And that's pretty much, I had content to share today. I believe, I was able to address some of the, expectations that you had before joining this meeting, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions or queries that you may have for me. Thank you.
Okay, great. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. If you could please unshare your screen and turn off your camera for just a moment. And thank you, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed. Please give Vivek a warm virtual round of applause and enjoy your next session. Thank you.